All right, I'm one step away from being finished on this. I've got to put antifreeze in it, put a belt on it for the water pump and alternator, and everything else I think is working. I haven't started it up. I wanted to wait until Emil came over and see if it will crank, and hopefully it will. The only thing that other than this I got to do, I have to put the windshield in. And that's simple. I got the caulking, the urethane, I'll put it in. And the car will be finished. I can still go around and do little things, but it'll be finished. This is what, I don't know if we got pictures of this. Gwendol, the guy that gave me the car, Tampa Dragway, was in Tampa, and it's on I-4 now where Rooms to Go is at 579. This was an F-gasser, and apparently back in 57 to 61, they gave dragsters numbers, and his was number 6. So really kind of neat. And the other day, I think Emil got the pinstriping. I had Paul, the hand lettering guy, come over and pinstripe it and put the stuff on. And these are the original front wheels, the last ones that he ran on it. And I cleaned them up and painted the inside and cleaned this. The other side has a beauty ring on it. I've got another one here. Makes the rim look a whole lot better. So that's that. And the other day we were trying to crank it, it wouldn't crank, so Joe took the carburetors over and cleaned them out. And again, I'm not sure if it's going to crank now, but we'll find out. I built this bracket to hold the cable for the accelerator, the gas. And the linkage on this thing is really strange how they build it back in the day. And you push this down, you get more tension on the spring. You got to loosen it here and here, and that makes the throttle close all the way up. So that was a learning experience. And that we got the hydraulic clutch in it. It's working now. The master cylinders are full. Brakes are working. Got them done the other day. Got the drag link built. And I think we already went over this. I took the drag link, it was short, and I had to cut a piece out of the middle, so I added another piece of rod in there, welded them together, and this is a piece of pipe that I slid over it and welded it to this, so it's double safe. I don't want that thing coming apart. So we got that in there. And then on the inside, go around here again. We got everything done inside. It's got the fuel pump, the electric fan, and the ignition. 3 things. And like I was talking the other day, I took that Moon gas pedal. That's the starter pedal. And then I got a gas pedal for it here, the spoon type. And I need to tighten it up. I thought I had it tightened up, but I don't. Okay, so I got the gauges in, and I got a water temperature gauge, a tach, and an oil pressure. So we'll find out if it's got oil pressure. I know it has oil pressure because the other day we were cranking it over trying to figure out where the oil sending unit or the oil gauge would fit in. And there's a plug right down here that I took loose, and no oil came out. Well, I took this one out, the plug, turned it over, and before I could stop turning it over, it pumped out a quart of oil on the floor. So it does have oil pressure. And it squirted it out. It was that big around, and it was hitting the frame that far in a quart in about 3 seconds. So we'll know what it is here in a minute. I haven't got much gas in it. But,
what type of fuel does it use?
well, I put airplane fuel in it, AF fuel, because it don't go bad, and I had some. That's the biggest reason.
That's a good reason.
I put it in everything that sets. That way it don't gum up the carburetor.
Good idea.
Yeah. So the back tires, I had some Krager SS's, and these tires, rims, these tires really no good, but they were made in Tampa in the 70s. It was a company called Ivy's, and they're cheater slicks. And the reason they call them cheater slicks, they're slicks with a groove on each side of them. And coming around here, I got the gas tank in, which is the jerry can. And I haven't decided whether to paint it or leave it like that. It's still in undecided mode.
Huh, can't even see where the fuel goes in.
Yeah, it goes through the bottom.
Yeah, that's neat.
And I would have set it closer to the back here, but there's a rail that runs right down the middle that I couldn't bolt it down. Put the battery here, and so it's in. Now, I'm going to try to crank this thing. I better leave it on. And the doors and everything are working. Paint's done. Like I said, I can't think of anything else that I've got to do in this thing.
Well, how about just start it up, see if she runs?
Well, we'll try that.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
try. Okay. Oh, we did put the back window in today and it used urethane, and this window was too small for this hole. I don't understand that. So I had to put a bunch of extra urethane in it, and we'll take it off tomorrow and it'll stay in. But yeah, and then I got to mount the seat, no big deal. This is the fuel pump, shifter, and don't turn the fan on. I'm not going to run it long because I got to put the water and the fan belt on, but once I do that, then I can run it. So I'm just going to try to crank it up. And Emil will watch the oil pressure and see if it does anything. See, this is the starter button. What did it go up to?
About 42.
Okay. So it's about the same whether it's sitting still or running wide open, but that's good oil pressure.
Yeah. Oh, that sounded beautiful too.
Oh, it
How long did
does.
that motor sat for?
40 some years under
Wow.
a shed, a lean-to, and it was only about 3 foot under the edge of the shed, and it was open on that end, and over here, and it was against a building. So, and the only thing that covered it up, the carburetors were these air filters, but the other ones were old and wore out. That's
Yeah.
all that was keeping water out. But when I got it, I pulled the plugs out, filled it up with Blaster and Marvel Mystery Oil, and I think that helped. Now, when I first started turning it over to try, I got a battery on it. I think it's in the videos, but number 2 and 4 had no compression. And then the more I turned it over, I guess the rings loosened up, and the more compression it got, and it started, everything leveled out, had plenty of compression. So car sounds real good. I think we just clean these out. I need to get an accelerator pump for one. There's some fine tuning, but on a scale of 1 to 10, she's a 9. I'm very happy.
She ran
And
beautiful.
if you could have seen, which you saw in that video, what it looked like 4.5 months ago compared to what it is now,
So as far as this bet goes, you're rolling into the home stretch. You're about done, and you're about to collect $50.
No, I'm getting a pig backstrap. This guy's a hog hunter, and I told him I didn't want his money. I wanted his a pig backstrap.
Okay.
So that's what I'm getting.
Okay.
But what a deal. I mean, this thing turned out very nice. I'm very pleased with it. And this thing was fun to work on. This wasn't a get bored with it. Every night I would go home and I'd lay down there and say, tomorrow I'm going to do this. And I'd come over and I'd get about half of what I said I was going to get done. And then I went to sleep thinking about finishing this thing, and it's finished. I remember when I was a whole lot younger, I used to think about a lot of other things because instead of getting a car fixed. But now, hey, life's good.
Yeah, it looks great. I really love the white walls.
Yes, they made it stand out, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
A friend of mine, we traded around those are Coker white walls, and I had a C4 transmission that don't know the condition of it, but he said he would give me the Coker white walls for the C4. I said, you got it.
That's a pretty good deal. It worked out well.
Yes, it did.
Hey.
Okay, I've been asked, what am I going to do next? Well, I got a 64 Ford Sports Coupe, Fairlane. I got an Alfa Romeo Spider. I've got this Willis out here, which I got to finish. Then I got a 57 Ford 300, and I got a 62 Thunderbird that I'm going to do something to. But right now, this minute, it's going to be the 57 Ford.
Okay.
So I'm excited about that too.